Shalom, shalom. Boker Tov. Good morning to all of you. Hope you're doing well. Shavua Tov u'mevorach. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shavua Tov to Rabbi El Natan El Hanan, Chief Rabbi. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom to
Shalom, shalom, Chief Rabbi Pinchas.
Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom also to Rabbi Israel Pondol. Shalom, shalom to all of you. Bezrat Hashem, we will continue our weekly limud in English. Like you know, we are in the 3 weeks. 3 weeks which are very particular because we call them the hardest time in the Jewish calendar. We can say in the Israelite calendar. But before that, let me say shalom also to people on YouTube. Shalom, shalom. Rabbi Malek Ben Yusuf. Shalom, shalom to everybody on YouTube and Facebook. Shalom, shalom to all of you. So the purpose is to understand that the 3 weeks that we call Ben HaMetsarim, they are the hardest time in the Jewish calendar, in the Israelite calendar. That time means that most of the time, let's say, the Jewish people, the Israelite people, they are always entering that timeline with a lot of fears, with a lot of anxiety, meaning you are not allowed to buy new clothes, you are not allowed to cut your hairs, not allowed to organize any type of celebration, not allowed to eat meat or to drink wine, except on Shabbat and Ilulot. You are basically not allowed to take any type of risk, meaning avoid to have any type of justice court in that time, avoid to sign contract in that time. Many things that I just quote in front of you that show how terrible are these 3 weeks. We, the masters of the Nousakh Afriki, we understood, thanks to the writings, the wisdoms of the Mikobalim, of the Tanaim, that the best way to face Shalom, shalom, Chief Rabbi Shai Moshe.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom. That the best way to face that period is to anticipate that time. The sages of Israel, they consider that 3 weeks like the time, the periods which are under the power of Esav, the twin of Yaakov. And among the different tools we build based on what we received from the sages, on the Tanaim, we know that the lecture of Pirkei Avot, the lecture of Perek Shira or Pirkei Shira, like the Ben Ishrai, are a key in order to be a master and not a slave in that time of the 3 weeks. So in the words, in the examples, in the wisdom of the Tanaim, through the Pirkei Avot, for example, or through the Pirkei Shira, we can find some drops of wisdom, of intelligence, of knowledge, advices that can help those who didn't prepare themselves since Pesach to face that weeks properly, even though they can have legs, help to stand on. Shalom, shalom, Rabbi Yochanan, shalom, shalom. So basically, we understand that 3 weeks, they are terrible. Many of us, we just associate that 3 weeks to the Jewish people. The mistake is to forget that if the sons of Yaakov, their whole family, So every single Ben Yaakov have to be concerned when that 3 weeks comes. Not only the ones we call the Jews, meaning Yehuda and Benjamin and some part of Leviim, but also the others, the 10 tribes that some people call lost, them also, they also have to be careful about that 3 weeks. They also have to be careful about the way to interact with that 3 weeks. They have also to be careful about the teachings that will be given to them through the Pirkei Avot and through the Pirkei Shira. Let's see something very special. Let's try to understand something very special, which is basically the proof and the extension of what I called since few time now the Bantu Israelites. Let's see how intellectual slavery, I repeat, intellectual slavery is a methodical destruction that stand on our shoulders. Bezrat Hashem, like usual now, we're going to introduce our topic with the editora. First of all, shalom, shalom to Rabbanit Catherine. Shalom, shalom to Rabbi Israel Pondol. Shalom, shalom, welcome. Bezrat Hashem, in order to start the editora, let me call out the jingle. Editora. Editora Ben HaMetsarim, the 3 weeks. Before I start, let's see something.
The African states all come and they say, we want Israeli technology in agriculture, in healthcare, in irrigation, whatever. And they all come down to one word: security. Help us in security. So I suggested to some of the European countries a simple partnership. We form consortiums to deal with individual countries. They can be defeated today. They can be defeated today. It'll be a lot harder tomorrow. And my point is, in addition to the battle of ideas, there's the battle. You have to win the battle. And the earlier you win it, the cheaper it will be. The longer you wait, eventually, these forces will dissipate.
Editora Ben HaMetsarim. The infernal cycle of the 3 darkest weeks of the Jewish calendar, of the Israelite calendar, seems to know no end. Although Nousakh Afriki has been implementing actions since Pesah to soften and to reverse them, the consequences remain terrible. Worse than the chains and prison of Gorée Island. Worse than the chains and prisons of Zanzibar. Worse than the chains and prison of Uncle Sam's country. The intellectual prisons is by far the most violent, the most inhuman of the atrocities committed against the Bantu Israelites. Let us see, analyze, and above all, understand what's happened. Ben Ishai on the not the fix, on the one Pirkei Avot. Let me share my screen. We're going to start straight. And the purpose for me will be to define with you, to see, to understand, and to build the tools against that intellectual slavery that was made against us. Intellectual slavery that you have seen Netanyahu explaining, like we, African countries, Bantu Israelite countries, population, tribes, use the word you want, we manifest by always begging. Begging for technology, begging for agriculture, begging for security. That beg, instead of creating a kind of compassion, a kind of love, gave to some of people, including him and some European people, an idea to destroy us more than it was made. How come we beg every time? How come we beg for everything? We have everything in our soil, but we are still begging. We are giving our throat to the slaughters. How that situation was prepared, how that situation was structured. To understand that, we have to follow the words of the Ben Ishai. So let's see what's happened there. Ben Ishai continues his explanation. You know, we started last week to see about what we call the impurity. Impurity characterized by wisdom of Torah against philosophy. That wisdom of Torah, we saw on what it was based, a different way to define things, a different way to interact with your enemies, a different way to build the tools of peace. And the Ben Ishai said last week that the only way to be able to build peace is you, even if you have been the victim, even if the one who attacked you, who sins against you, even if he doesn't want at all to say any excuses, you have to bring first the tools of peace. That was the basis, the spiritual basis to understand the secret in the laws of Ayotsemi Natame Tame. What does it mean? Every single time you see revenge being used like a tool, every single time you see someone trying to make conspiracy against you, you people, your security, your integrity, like you have seen in the Torah, you have to understand that the wisdom of Torah is not behind. It's the impurity of philosophy. So now the Ben Israel continues. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. From UK, shalom, shalom. So now the Ben Israel continues. He's asking more, he's giving to us more details about the laws of everything which comes out from impurity. So we have to understand that it's not finished at all. Impurity is first of all based on the mindset of philosophy. Yes, we get it. but he will go deeper. He said you will see that certain laws based on the philosophy, based on the impurity, what comes from impurity, or even based on the way we will decide the state of an egg, will be used to understand something very deep about the inner level of what philosophy has created, meaning of what comes from impurity has created. Are you okay? Did you understood? We can start.
Yes.
Yes, Chief Rabbi Pinchas.
תודה רבה. So let's start. הלכות שנה שנייה, פרשת באר בחוקותיי, הלכות היוצאים מן הטמא וביצים. So the laws of what comes out from impurity and the laws about eggs. Introduction. Pirkei Avot, chapter 5, 26 or 23, verse 26, 23, depending on your version. Ben Hehe Homer. So there's a tzaddik, there's a Tana. His name is Ben Hehe, the son of Hehe. Omer, Lefum Tzara Agra. Lefum Tzara Agra. One expression in Aramaic telling Shalom Shalom to Chief Rabbi Mordechai, Shalom Shalom. So Ben Ish Chai said, Lefum Tzara Agra. One expression to say that everything happens for the good. Everything which happened to you, the good one and the bad one, let's say, is for the good. So the Ben Ish Chai will start to explain. He say, Nira li b'siyata dishmaya, atzadik nikra ben hehe. He said, first of all, don't fall in the trap. The name of this tzaddik in the Pirkei Avot, Ben Hehe, is also the code for the tzaddik's names. You are tzaddik, know that your spiritual name is Ben Hehe. Your friend is a tzaddik, know that his spiritual name is Ben Hehe. He said, Ben Hehe, Omer, Lefum Tzara Agra, everything is for the best. Okay. He said, what does it mean? Why we call a tzaddik? Why the code name, the spiritual code name of a tzaddik is Ben Hehe, the son of the letter He, if you want. But how many times? 2 times. Ben Hehe. Like you can see here, the first He and the second He, Ben Hehe. He said very simple. Why did the Tanaim quote the name of the tzaddik Hehe? Say like this, כי ידוע דחלק נפשות שבאדם הן נפש, הן רוח, הן נשמה, מוכח שיש בו 5 חלקים, שהם נפש ונשמה חיי יחידה. He said, first of all, you have to know that when you are a real tzaddik, meaning you have escaped from the previous trap. Which was it? The trap of wisdom of Torah versus philosophy, like we saw last week. When you succeed, not to feed your body, not to feed your soul with what comes from impurity, from your behavior, to your speech, to your mindset, what's happened, you acquire the 3 levels of souls that are built for the world where we are now. What are that 3 levels? Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama. Okay. This is the 3 levels that can be incorporated, that can be integrated inside of your body in this world. The 2 other levels, let's say, they are outside of your body. You have to know, he said, that every single of these 3 levels, Nefesh, Ruach, or Neshama, they are divided in 5 levels. He said, let's take one example. Let's take the first level, the lower one, Nefesh. If you have the Nefesh, you have to know that your Nefesh is divided in 5 levels. What are them? Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, Yechida. So he said, these are the 3 parts of the three inner parts of each level of souls that are activated inside of you. Meaning, if you have a nefesh only, you will have 5 levels of that soul activated. If you have nefesh and ruach, you will have 2 levels, but in total, 10 levels of these things activated, and so on. Is it okay till there?
Yes, Chief
Yes,
Rabbi
yes.
Pinchas.
תודה רבה. Please help me out because it will be a bit technique. Like this, I will know if you can follow. It's like this. שהם מבחינת שם הוויה עם קוצו של יוד, כתר, חוכמה, בינה, תפארת מלכות. So now you have to know. So you see, when, for example, you possess the nefesh, and your nefesh is divided in 5 levels. That 5 levels, they are basically the physical expressions of 5 sephirot. The 5 main sephirot, meaning the 5 who can feed and collect from the others. Which sephirot are them? Keter, the crown, Chokhmah, the wisdom, Bina, intelligence, Tiferet, splendor, and Malchut, kingship. It said basically the 5 inner parts of each level of your soul, they are that 5 sephirot. Are we still okay? Still there? Is it okay?
Yes, Chief Rabbi Pinchas. We are there.
תודה. וזהו בחלק הנפשיות. וכנגד בחלק הגופניות יש 5 חושים. He said, look, that 5 subdivision that I've explained to you, the same logicality is also happening with the body. Meaning that very same sephirot, meaning Keter, Chokhmah, Bina, Tiferet, and Malchut, when it's connected to your soul, they created 5 different divisions of your nefesh or ruach or neshama. But when they are connected to your body, they create 5 different senses. 5 different senses. So now let's see. It says, look, ובכתב בקהילת יעקב, it says like this, like it's written. It said, חוש הרעות הוא סוד הכתר. It says you have to know that when you see the view is connected to keter, which is connected to the higher level of your soul. Meaning you can see, you can use the view with the Yechidah. So the keter is what helps you to see. After he continued, said, Vechush ata'am, the taste of everything. It's connected to the wisdom, the chokhmah. And this is the dimension of chaya. The sense of smelling. It's connected to bina, to intelligence. So your wisdom gave taste to things, and your intelligence give smell to things. He said, look, this is the expression of the level of neshama. After, vechush mishush, touching, touch. That sense of touching is connected to tiferet, meaning it's also connected to the level of ruach. And the last one, who is the sense of listening, to listen, hearing. He said, this is connected to Malchut, which is the dimension of the soul. So if I summarize it like this, meaning you need Keter to be able to view properly. You need intelligence to be able to smell properly. You need wisdom to be able to know the taste of every single thing. You need kingship to be able to listen, to hear, to use the hearing. And you need Tiferet to be able to touch. Is there any question till there?
Chief Rabbi Pinchas, I don't have not that I don't have a question. It's on Ben Shchai. Which parasha is that?
It's a parashat. It's in introduction of the parashat Be'ar Bechukotai, second year.
Toda Rabba, Chief Rabbi Pinchas. Toda Rabba.
Welcome. So it's like this. Shalom Shalom Rabbi Chaim Ben Yosef. Shalom Shalom. So it's like this. This is what should be found out inside of every single tzaddik. 5 levels of souls and 5 sense perfectly working. Now look what the Ben Ish Chai will say. We go back to the text. He said like this. He said, let me make it bigger because I want you to be able to see. So it is. Maybe 1 second. Okay. I think it's better now. Yes, you can see the text. It's okay?
Yeah, yes, it's okay for me, Chief Rabbi Pinchas.
Okay, toda rabba. So he said like this. Shalom Shalom Chief Rabbi Kish. So he said like this. Shalom Shalom. So the Ben Ish Chai continues. He said like this. He said, based on that, נמצא באדם יש 5 חלקים בנפשו ו5 כנגד גופו. He said, when you are real tzaddik, you possess that 5 levels of souls in your nefesh and that 5 level of senses in your body. A tzaddik הוא שלם ב5 אלו. So what is the real states of a tzaddik? Once you have escaped from the impurity of what we saw last week, you have won the battles, meaning wisdom of Torah versus philosophia. Here is, you can achieve that level of being a tzaddik with that 5 different levels working. Keter, Chochma, Bina, Tiferet, Malchut are feeding and your soul and your body. You have your 5 level of souls and you have your 5 level of senses. So it's like this. The tzaddik is full of that 5 levels in both sides. ו5 אלו אינם חסר בהם כלום. It said the real tzaddik never missed any one of them. אך הרשע בין אלו ובין אלו פגועים. He said, but when you are Rasha, someone, something, some category, some level will be missing, or in the level of your soul, or in the level of your body. So never underestimate the place of the senses, the place of the souls, and study and actions, both of them are important. And he said, וכאילו אין בו לא מלה, לא מאלה ולא מאלה. So said, what is the definition of a rasha in the level we are seeing now? It's when you are missing one of these levels, no matter if it is in the level of the soul, no matter if it is in the level of the body. You miss one of them, you are a rasha for the Ben Ishai. Meaning, you have all your five senses working, it's okay. You have only 4 working, but you have some problem with taste. You cannot be called a tzaddik. You have everything working perfectly, but you have some problem with sensation, with touching. You are not a tzaddik. Everything is working, but you cannot smell. You are not a tzaddik. Exactly the type of situation you saw happening with the COVID-19. What's happened with people? Every single one were losing one of the senses. So with that pandemia, they create Reshaim. Not that people wanted to be Rasha, but there's a way. We're going to see it in a few seconds. Look. V'lachen, Tzaddik nikra ben hehe. So that's why the Tzaddik is called ben hehe, according to what we saw in the Pirkei Avot. Ben hehe, Omer, lifum tzara agra. So you say, ki mispar hehe chamisha. It's simple. Say, look, the letter he, like this, possess the value of 5. That's why you have the son of hehe, the son of 5. So he said the tzaddik is the one who possesses the 5 levels in both sides. Remez lechamisha anafshiim vechamisha gufaniyim. So say it's simple. That 2 times hehe, the code's name of this Tana, it's because the 3 levels in the soul and the 3 levels in the body were totally visible in his life. That's why the real tzaddik is called Ben Hehe. So he said, She'em shlemim oto. So he said, he's fulfilled by them. וכדי לנחם עצמו כשרואה דוחק בעולם הזה ובצער גדול אומר לפום צרה אגרה. So he said something very important here. He said, look, if you don't possess that 5 level in your soul, if you don't possess that 5 level in your body, don't play the tzaddik. Don't try to play the tzaddik, to say, no, it's okay. We're going to win the war. It's okay. I'm not afraid. You are playing a role. Because we have to be sure that that 5 levels are seen and understood from your behavior, from your speech, from your mindset. And we see now, this man possesses a keter in his soul. And we have also to see it in your sense. The way you look at things, the way you analyze situation, the way you hear, the way you taste, the way you smell, the way you touch. We have to see that you are tzaddik. But look, many people even don't success to distinguish wisdom of Torah in front of philosophia, and they come and they try to sell to you the don't worry things. Don't worry, we have Emunah. Which Emunah are you talking about? Your senses are not working at all. According to the Ben Ishra, you are a Rasha. So to who you want to teach that you have to work with an Emunah, that you have to react with Emunah? You cannot talk about things you cannot produce. So look what said. Ben Ishra said, the only one who will have the power and the strength to say, there is no problem, it's okay. It's only someone who will see the 5 sfirot lightening the 5 level in his soul and in his body. I'll make a long story short. Only the one will be able to remove the impurity of philosophia from his way of thinking. What is that impurity of philosophia? If you didn't listen to the previous limud, it's very simple. Be able to build the tools of peace. You first. Don't wait for your enemy or the one who have damage or sins against you to come first. You see how Ben Israel is connecting things, is giving you a wisdom for life. He said, look, there's no miracle. Don't listen to the people who tell you, it's going to be okay, don't worry. Hashem is with us. You are lying. There's no keter, no chokhmah, no bina, no tiferet, no malchut lightening your soul. There's no keter, no chokhmah, no bina, no tiferet, no malchut lightening your body. So to who you want to talk? Ben Israel helps you to see. Always believe the words of the Ben Hehe. If you don't know if he is a real Ben Hehe, if he is a real tzaddik, check the five senses. Look the way he touch things. Look the way he smell situation. Look the way he express the feelings, the taste of what he's saying. Look the way he behave with his eyes. The way he look at situation. The way he look at people. The way he interact with the others. The way he interact with the differences. Is he tolerant? Non-tolerant? Is he trying to seek nakedness? Or is he trying to protect his eyes? If there's no keter, leave it. Leave it. Till there, is it okay? We're going to dig now.
Yes, Chief Rabbi Pinchas.
So we go deeper. Just to understand something before we go deeper. This is the beginning of what I called intellectual slavery. When you succeed to bring philosophia to be the reference for people's mindset, like said the Ben Ishai, what do you actually create? You create situation where people will think that they are handling. They think that they are masters of the five senses. They think that they are masters of the five levels of souls. But actually, you, the one who manipulates all the situation, you know that the guys are done. You want the best example? Come to Africa. How many church, evangelic church, all the things you know, how many do you have in the streets? Come to Kinshasa. The city is destroyed. You have no roads. You have no place to throw out your garbage. You are obliged to burn them nearby your house. And you say that you are people of faith. Craziness. Your 5 cents are not awake because you still see your situation like a normal situation, meaning the taste and the smell is out. Do you see what I mean? You go to Haiti. Look at the way people live. It's not the conditions. But people, they are master of faith. No, Abanim. It's not a faith. You are victim of what was created by bringing impurity in your way to make up your minds. You made philosophy to become the tools of your life and not the wisdom of Torah. It's done. The spirituality of your 5 senses are off. You cannot smell. You cannot hear. You cannot see. That's why you keep on opening church in a capital who smells the garbage which are burned. We were in Kinshasa, all the yeshiva, right? And people, when they are in the situation, walking in the middle of the street, dirty street, dangerous for their own health, they are showing to you that they have faith. Guys, you have no faith. You are not seeing the situation. That's why at the end of the day, what's happened to you? You go and beg. You go and beg. Beg for security, beg for agriculture, beg for techniques. But what said the man to who you went to beg? He said, we're going to destroy you. Share it again. Share it again. I want you to listen to this carefully. Share it again.
And they all come down to one word: security. Help us in security. So I suggested to some of the European countries a simple partnership. We form consortiums to deal with individual countries. They can be defeated today. They can be defeated today. It'll be a lot harder tomorrow. And my point is, in addition to the battle of ideas, there's the battle. You have to win the battle. And the earlier you win it, the cheaper it will be. The longer you wait, eventually these forces will dissipate, because there is no hope, there is no future for a world of darkness. I think defeating them early is important. We'll defeat them in the battle of ideas, but let's defeat them on the ground as well.
Oh. So you defeat people in the battle of ideas. This is not what the Ben Ishai said. Ben Ishai talk about wisdom of Torah, where you are able to collect all the machloktot, where you are able to convince based on the wisdom. When destruction is in your mouth, it's philosophy. Where does it come from? Start by here. They removed the traditions of your ancestors. They removed the cultures of your ancestors, and they brought to you philosophy. What was the purpose? To damage your five senses, to damage the spirituality of your five senses. Like this, even when you are in the dust, when you are in the crap, you think that you are a man of faith. You think that you are a man of God. The destruction, the victory on the battle of ideas was made the last 600 years. Since the first boats of Portuguese, Netherlands, Germans arrived in the Africa, they took our family, our siblings, our brother, bring them in the United States, South America. This was battle of ideas. We reject our culture. Now they want to make it physical. Why? Because you have been so blinded by your 5 levels of souls and by your 5 levels of body. But what happened now? You have no weapon, no technology, no security. Your security is done by the one who hates you. The weapons you use are made by the one who hates you. The food that you eat are made by the one who hates you. The medicine that you use, the vaccine that you use are made by the one who hates you. Guys, you're trapped. It's finished. Said, I want to see some European country to say it's time to finish with them. You go to beg, they plan to finish the story. Do you understand what Ben Ishai is saying?
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, Rabbi Ishai.
So, because I'm here in Madagascar and I'm witnessing. I don't know if you can say it in English, but all this thing that we are learning today, and it gives me a taste of sadness, a bit of anger. I'm not gonna hide it because it's for example, they do this campaign of vaccination, and I asked to my families, do you know what are inside those vaccines? No, just you have to have it in order to put your children to school. If you don't have it, your children, you cannot go to school. So so they have no choice. Even if someone wants to be opposed with that vaccination, no, there's no. So people just, as we say, that all the senses are off, and it's really sad.
תודה רבה, Rabbi Ishai. You are on the ground, you see. You are the best one to express to us what is the reality there. You know, people never understood what was the purpose of philosophy. People never understood why the Ben Ishai was so hard against philosophy. We have many texts. We think now the guy, sorry for the term, don't like Greeks. No, guys, you don't understand. Philosophy is the base of all societies, from medicine, economy, everything was made by the Lumière, the philosopher of the previous century. Their mindset was to disconnect every single part of your soul, every single part of your body from its spiritual roots, meaning that 5 sefirot. Let's go back in the text, you're going to see how it's become. So he said, in order to be able to say, there's no problem, it's going to be okay, Hashem will help. Please, don't lie to yourself. If you have not the 5 level being lightning in the 2-way, to the 2 side, don't talk. Don't talk. Don't bring people to think that Hashem wants it. No, akol letova. What akol letova? You have no light in your soul, no light in your sense. You say akol letova. This is the power of Ben Ishai. Who can talk like him like that? So look. So he said, Lifum tzaraga, akol letova, like we said. Ve'em ken ze atzar lo letova. So it's the sufferance is only for the good when you are able to use the 5 level of each side, meaning soul and body. If you are not able, don't say that the sufferance is for the best. Don't be used to say that like a common expression. Shalom, shalom, Catherine. How will you explain the inversion of terms using during the Mount Sinai? Hear the light and see the voice. What's happened as this moment? Excuse for my okay. No, it's another question, but basically, when you are able to hear the light, it means that you connect the sephirah of, like you say, you can see it. Hearing is sephirah of Malchut. With the light, it's connected to the view. So you connect Malchut and Keter. It's another question. Bezat Hashem, we're gonna study it on the proper time. It's sometimes you have interaction to make between Sfirot in order to create a new dynamic of forces. Bezat Hashem. So let's go. So he said, so he said, not only that, he said, when you see tremendous situation, catastrophe in the word Ba'olam, and the word is basically almost finished. וצער גדול אומר לפון צער הגרע, וכן זה הצער הוא לטובה. וכמאמר Nahum Ish Gamzu. He said, do you know about Nahum Ish Gamzu? The rabbi we called Nahum, the man from Gamzu. Al kol atzar sheroe omer Gamzu letova ta'anit kaf halef. He said, every situation, a bad situation was seeing, he was reacting by said, according to Hawaii, because he had the 5 senses lighted, the 5 level of souls lighted. So let's see concretely what type of situation Nahum Ish Gamzu was facing. Because we use his name every time. We say Nahum Ish Gamzu, Gamzu Letova, Nahum Ish Gamzu, Gamzu Letova. But what do we really understand from that level of being able that everything is for the best while you are suffering? Look what he said about Nahum Ish Gamzu. He said like this. It's on the way. Passion, please. He said like this. He said, we're on Tani 21. Aleph. The Gemara relates another story about the run-down building. They said about Nahum of Gamzu, Nahum the man of Gamzu, that he was blind in both eyes. You see how the story starts? He was blind both eyes. Okay. Story start good. Once again, put the text again in front of you. So I say he was blind both eyes. Both his arms were amputated. Huh? You see? You still stay Gamzu Letova? Let's go. He said both his legs were amputated. We continue. And his entire body was covered in boils. So did you knew that about Nahum Ish Gamzu?
Yes, Chief Rabbi Pinchas, I did.
תודה רבה, תשמע בעינתך חנן. Nahum Ish Gamzu, so you, every single day of your life, you are making mimicry of expression. Say, Gamzu Letova. But you have your 2 eyes, you have your 2 legs, you have your 2 arms, and you eat. So you are not saying it from the corner of your understanding. It's mimicry. So look what's happened. He said, both his legs were amputated, both his and his entire body was covered in boils. And he was lying in a dilapidated house, and legs of his bed were placed in buckets of water so that ants should not climb into him. You see? And he was unable to keep them off in many other manner. Once a student sought to remove his bed from the house and afterward remove his other vessels. He said to them, my son, remove the vessel first, and afterward remove my bed. As I can guarantee you that as long as I am in the house will not fall. Indeed, they removed the vessel, and afterward they removed his bed, and immediately the house collapsed. So you see what he's saying to you? He said, not only I'm totally aware about what I'm facing in my life, but also I know the power I possess inside of me. If you remove me, the house will fall. Meaning, if you want to know if your sufferings are for the good, you have to know that if you are out of the game is over. Please. How many millions of Bantu Israelites are killed? Do you see the world finished? No. People are even not taking a single minute in their news to talk about. It's because the power of faith we want to show has nothing to do with the high quality of the souls and of the body. Why? Because from the beginning, we become philosopher. How do I know become philosopher? we made Christianity, Islam, and let's say the Torah bet like the think about our identity. While we didn't know that Torah Aleph was the tradition our ancestors they had. So we start to build societies like our invaders. We make elections, we have president, we made parliament, we made ambassadors, we create economy. We don't print our money, we let the invader print our money. See, how do you do that? Just a simple thing. When you are feeding yourself from the element, from the nourishment which comes from impurity, even if it sounds good, even if it smells good, even if it tastes good, now look where we go. ועוד, נראה לי בסייעתא דשמיא, בן ישראל had, it seems to be, הטעם הצדיק נקרא בן ה'. Why the tzaddik is called the son of 5 souls, five in the soul, the 5 in the body. כי ידוע, התורה ניתנה מן העולם הבינה. He say it's known. The Torah was given from the word of Bina. What does it mean? The Torah was given from the word of smell. I jump. התורה ניתנה מעולם הבינה. ולכן תחילה האות בית שהיא בינה. That's why the Torah start by בית of בראשית. והיא סוד האחרונה, הראשונה, שבשם הוויה ברוך הוא. So he said that's בינה is the second hay of the name י' כו'. We go fast. ולכן 10 הדיברות היו כתובים 5 ו5. וכן כל התורה כולה 5 ספרים. So he said, look, no matter even if you want to connect yourself to the Torah Aleph, because he's talking about the first tablets. When he talk about the 10 הדיברות, it was on the first tablet, Torah Aleph. He said they were written 5 on one side and 5 on the other side. He said even the level of Torah Aleph demands that you activate that 5 level of soul and that 5 level of your senses. He said, look, that's why also in the Torah Bet you have 5 books. וכן כל התורה כולה 5 ספרים. והייתה דאותיות דרבי עקיבא, וזה לשון say, look what Rabbi Akiva said in his book, said אותיות, called אותיות Rabbi Akiva, one of the book Chief Rabbi Ishai is teaching a lot. So go in the website or go on the YouTube channel, you will have the limudim. זה מה נשתנה אות מכל האותיות. So he said, why the tzaddik is called Ben Hehe, the son of Hehe? So it's bring, even if it means 5, okay, we have examples. So what is difference between the He and all the other letters? What difference we see? He said, look, he said, Manishtana ot mikol haotiyot sheba netna Torah leIsrael. He said, when the Torah was given to Israel, all the letters were used. So why the He is so special? He said, look, מפני שכל האותיות כשאדם מוציא מפיו הוא מרגיש בהם בשפתיו ובלשונו ומוציא טיפת חוק מפיו. He said simple. All the letters from Aleph to Tav except the He, when you pronounce them, you can sense that some saliva comes out from your mouth. You have to use your tongue, your teeth, your lips to sound the letters. That will bring you to basically split a bit. You will bring some saliva out. אבל הות ה' אינה מקבלת טומאה, מפני כשאדם מוציא מפיו אינו מרגיש בו. He said, look, the He is different. When you pronounce the letter He, you don't see any saliva coming out. He, You don't split. Hey, so this is the quality of the hay. Nothing is brought out. No saliva is brought out. You don't feel anything coming out from your mouth. C'est lo margishimbo. Lo bishfatav. No, you don't feel it in your lips. Lo bileshono, you don't feel it in your tongue. Ve'en motim ba tipat rock mipiv, and no drops of saliva comes out from your mouth. Adkan leshono yan sham, say this is what Rabbi Akiva ben Yosef is saying there. Ve'ine hot he המילוי שלה הוא גם כן hot he, כמו הפשוט שלו. וידוע, המילוי נחשב ולד של הפשוט, כי נולד ממנו ונגרר אחריו. ולכן התורה שבכתב נחלקה ל5 ספרים, שהם מספר לרמוז כמו אות היא יוצאת טהורה מפי של האדם, ואין מוציא בה רוק מפיו, כן התורה היא טהורה ואינה מקבלת טומאה. So he said like this, he said that's why the letter he, that's why the value connected to the letter he is so important in the identity, in the inner as dimension of the Torah. Why? Because the hay don't create and don't receive any impurity. That's why we need that letter to be connected to our Torah, to our Torah. That's why the Torah cannot receive any impurity. A Torah lo mekabelet tuma. Torah cannot be impurified. You get it? I went a bit fast, but I wanted to arrive to that point. The tzaddik is called Ben Hehe because the He can also be alluded to the Torah, and the Torah is so special because no impurity can be brought on it. That's why this is the letter used to symbolize the tzaddik and also the Torah. Till there, is it okay?
Yes, yes.
תודה רבה.
Yes, Chief Rabbi Pinchas.
תודה. So look what he said now. He said, ולכן בעל קורא הקורא בדברי תורה ואינו חושש. So that's why when you have been chosen to read in the Torah on Yom Sheni, on Yom Chamishi, on Shabbat, Rosh Chodesh, Chagim, don't be afraid when you are reading in the Torah that your saliva may fall on the scroll, Torah scroll, and that Chaz Shalom, you will make the Torah scroll impure. He said, wake up, my son. Torah cannot receive Tuma. A Torah lo mekabelet Tuma. That's it. That's why you don't have to be afraid. If I read the Torah, maybe one drop of saliva will fall on the Torah scroll. Say, no, don't worry. You cannot make the Torah impure. You get that conclusion? You cannot make the Torah impure. וכד חזיה רבי יהודה לאותו תלמיד דאבוי מגמגם, וקורא אמר לה, פתר פיך ותקרא. He said, this is the case of what's happened with Rabbi Yehuda, who had one of his students being, what do you say, slaughtering? Yes? Yes? How do you say it? 1 second.
Slaughtered?
Slaughtered. You get it? Slaughtering. Habanim, the English speakers, please help me out. Do you understand?
Yes, slaughter.
Yeah, slaughtered. So he had a student who was slaughtered. And that student was afraid to read the Torah. He said, look, because of my default, I will split on the Torah every single time. So I don't want to read. So what did Rabbi Yehuda say to him? He said, my son, please, don't worry. You are not that high to make the Torah impure. You will not impurify the Torah. He said, open your mouth and read. ואין דברי תורה מקבלים טומאה. And he went deeper. Ben Ishai said, not only the Torah cannot receive Tuma, but also Divrei Torah, teachings, speech. You cannot also bring impurity there. What does it mean? Abadim, look, we are almost finished. Dirtiv, Aloka Divrei Keesh Naum, Neum Hashem. He said, because the Torah is a fire. So you can make a fire impure? So help me out. Who can make a fire impure? Go. No impurity can stand in front of the fire. You cannot make a fire impure. It's impossible. So look. We get from Yirmiyahu. Ma esh ena mekavet tuma. Say, look, the fire cannot receive impurity. Af. If the fire cannot receive impurity, Av divrei Torah and mekablim tuma. Even the divrei Torah that you can listen from people here and there, they will not receive impurity. ולכן נרמז במספר אות להורות על זה שהיא טהורה ואינה מקבלת תמונה. So that's why the Torah is connected to the letter He. To say, look, that He is a fire. And no saliva, nobody, nothing can bring impurity, not in the Torah and not in the Divrei Torah. I bring your attention on this point. Not only the Torah scroll will not be impurified, but also the Divrei Torah. Do you understand this? No Divrei Torah can bring impurity to the Torah. Do you see where we go? Look, we enter the conclusion. Shalom, shalom, Rabbi Ishai.
Just one question. So we're talking about the both Torah, the Bet and Aleph.
Exactly. That's why Ben Ishai said Torah Bet and Torah Aleph.
Because we, when we start, we learn about the Maseret Yadayim, and when it has been written with Ashuri in a cloth, it will bring Tum'ah on the hands. So it's connected to the fire, could be associated with the letters, and how we will rate it.
This is the thing, like you said. When you understand these rules, you understand how many commentaries of the Mishnah they played with us. We will see it. Bezrat Hashem, we will have Mishnayot, daily Mishnayot study Bezrat Hashem soon. Yes, Chief Rabbi Isha, you get it. Look now. It's going to be worse than what you think. Look. Look what the Ben Ishai said. He said, look. He said, based on that, know that no Torah, no Torah, not the Divrei Torah can receive Tuma. Visa will jump. He said, no. והנה, מילוי הוד ה' הוא תולדה של הפשוט, והוא גם כן ה' להורות שגם תורה שבכתב היא דוגמת הוד ה', התולדה שלה הם דברים היוצאים ונולדים ממנה, שהם תורה שבעל פה. So he said simple. When I write the sound He, I will write it like this, 2 times He. He said the first He is the Torah itself, the scroll. The second A is the explanation, the remez, drash, sod, that pshat that I will bring from the scroll when I will be talking. So he said the two levels, what is written in the scroll and what is explained from the scroll, because this one is called the son of that one, also this one don't receive tum'ah. See where it's going. לתולדה שלה שהם דברים היוצאים ונולדים ממנה שהם תורה שבעל פה. So your explanation of the scroll of the text is the תורה שבעל פה. לכן, look now, that's why וכל חידושי התורה שאדם מחדש בה גם כן אין מקבלים טומאה. Do you understand what he's saying? He said every chidush that Ben Israel brings, every chidush that a Ben Israel brings cannot receive Tumah. Do you get what he said or not? He said every chidush that you can say about Torah, don't worry, you are not bringing any Tumah. One more details. He said, look, Kol Chidushim. He said, Ve'afilu chidush she'adam mechadesh midato. He said, even the chidush that you have invented in your head. You read with me or not, Tzadikim, please? He said, even the chidushim you have invented, meaning you have no references. You have no source. You start your chidush. Hey, I have an amazing chidush. You know what? Avraham, the father of Moshe, is a tzaddik gadol. What will people tell you? Oh, what is that, Rabbi? You say Avraham is the father of Moshe. Please leave it. No. He said, even the chidush you invent in your head, don't worry, you are not bringing any impurity to the Torah. Do you see what's happened here? Rabbanim, we have to cry. We have to cry because we were the first to say to people, who are you to talk? Are you allowed to talk? What do you know about Torah? You know about Torah. So, sit down. He said, look, this is the mindset of philosophy. What do the philosopher? Hey, don't touch to what Aristotle have said. Don't touch to what Karl Marx have said. Don't touch to what Freud had said. This is pillars. Here, Ben Ishai said, look. You know, you are like that because your philosophy can receive Tuma, impurity. You are not strong at all. Everyone can come. When you will start to make chidush, it will start the impurity of your philosophy. That's why you guys are afraid. And what did we do? We brought that mindset in the Torah. That very same mindset that create intellectual slavery. You African, you want to write books about medicine? Who told you? Who told you have the right? You Africans, you want to write about agriculture? Who told you have the right? You Africans, you want to create theory about money, about economy? Who told you have the right? We are the one giving to you the knowledge. We have the Nobel Prize. Nobel Prize is the proof that I'm allowed to use. You are not allowed to use. When you are a singer, when you are an athlete, and you start to bring some topic you have read, you know this athlete, he said, no, there is black Hebrews. All the word fall on him. Who told you there's black Hebrews to Negroes? Who told you? You are an NBA player. shut your mouth and sit down. They have this singer in France. He said, yeah, we know that the Egyptians were black and they had electricity. Who told you? You are a singer. You are a scientist. Who told you to talk about that? And if you continue to talk, they block your money and you become nothing. This is the intellectual slavery I'm talking about. Because real Torah is telling you, let the Chidush exist. No Chidush can impurify Torah.
Chief Rabbi Pinchas,
Yes, Chief Rabbi Nathan.
when for example, we look at the so-called Declaration of Human Rights,
Yes.
they have got a thing called a person has got the right to education.
Mm-hmm.
But this education they talk about is what they define education.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes, for example, to our own indigenous education, they disapprove them and condemn them.
Yes.
So, in other words, the philosophers are against our own wisdom, because we know when we talk about education, perhaps the word education, because it's foreign to us, we know how to educate our own people and our own kids and ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But our education is not recognized in the mainstream in the face of in the presence of philosophers. Thank you very much, Chief Rabbi Pinchas.
Chief Rabbi Nathan Hanan. We were so well educated that every single chidush we brought at the Chief Rabbi of Africa, we sweat to find lines in text. But if Ben Ishai was the master, the chief rabbi of Jerusalem, of Israel, we even not have to do all that work. Because we know we are facing people of bad mentality. They don't want us to say things. But here, we have the proof that this is not the mindset of the Torah. If your mindset is rooted in the Torah, you let the Chidush exist. Because Torah cannot receive Tumah. And you guys are making the opposite. You create generation of Jews, generation of Ben Israel, thinking that a man can bring impurity to the Torah. Why you do that? Because you give your back to the sword. You don't know the codes behind Abraham. You don't know the codes behind Moshe. That's why you cannot connect them even as father and son. But we know the codes. You can even tell me that Moshe has created the word. I will prove to you as it possible. You can even tell me how Chava, she killed the snake. I will prove to you. You can tell me how Chava, she was on the Mount Sinai. I will prove it to you. I have no problem, because when you know the codes, you know how to connect every single thing. What I call the Torah web, the web Torah. Everything is connected. From the last Lamed of Israel in the Torah Bet till the first Aleph of Anochi. I can connect everything. So why do I have to stress? I don't stress because my Torah is not here to dominate any people. My Torah is not here to create any slavery. My Torah is here to bring freedom and strength to every single people who wants to connect with Ein Sof Baruch Hu. They brought mentality of university, mentality of philosophy in the word of Torah. You are not allowed to say Chidushim. Are you not to say Chidushim? You need to be allowed by some people. Who are you? Oh, please, 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 please. This is Greece. This is not Torah.
Shalom, shalom.
I'm sure Rabbi Ishai.
When I just wanted to share when we went to Tel Aviv, when we go to the conversion.
Yeah.
It's like you feel like the the one who is holding the question is the one who decides for your future. And according to what we just read, it's like the pinnacle of the poison that have been introduced in the Torah.
Yes.
This is to share.
תודה רבה. תודה רבה, Shai. Let's read the bit we finished. He said like this. He said, ואפילו חידוש שאדם מחדשו מדעתו. Even the חידוש that the man invents in his head. He has a lot of imagination. He creates things that have no sense for you. There is no problem. Because we went out from Egypt. It's forbidden to bring a Ben Israel in slavery. But the biggest slavery that we have a lot of difficulty to see is the intellectual slavery. The one who put chains in our brains. We even don't try to say something because we know that we are not legit for it. Got that? That's why all the people who say, no, we have a way to treat the COVID-19. Please, we don't ask you about your knowledge. This is ayotse minatametame. This is what comes out from impurity is impurity. So look what he said. He said, even though מאחר שהוליד אותו מן התורה עצמה, נעשה כתורה עצמה. From the moment he's taking it from his book of reference, his Torah, it's Torah itself. So don't say that the man is not allowed to say that חידוש. שיהיה גם הוא דוגמת אות שאינה מקבלת טומאה. So if the חידוש that this man will say, even if it's a nonsense for you, it's also a chidush that will not receive tuma. Because when people they sell to you, they say, no, don't let people talk, because if they say that, people will understand this, and this will create problem for the institution. Hey, what is that saying? You guys are afraid. You are afraid. It means that your Torah is philosophy. Your Torah is not real Torah. People always say to me, Rabbi Pinchas, why you give so many microphones to people to talk? Say, what are you afraid of? If there's a problem, I will be there to explain. Don't worry. Let people talk. Let people make Torah them. Let them take that tools. And even you, I say, guys, take the microphone, take the computer, teach. Go and talk. Don't be afraid. This is the way to fight back. Because that 3 weeks they are called the Ben HaMetsarim. The 3 weeks of suffering. What is Metzarim? Mitzrayim. What is Mitzrayim? Slaves. Don't create intellectual slavery because you are doing what the slave master have done to our culture. So look now. He said, ולכן הצדיק העושה תורה ומוליד ממנה חידושים. That's why צדיק, who said Torah. So now this man is a tzaddik. He is making Torah and bring חידושים. He will also be called Ben Hehe. שיש בידו תורה העיקרית ושהיא דוגמת אות וגם יש בידו חידושי תורה הנולדים מן התורה שגם אלו הם דוגמת אות. So what you may think here? You say, no, maybe the Ben Ishra is saying that only the tzaddik called Ben Hehe will be allowed to say chidushim. It's not what he's saying. He said, Torah doesn't receive any tumah, and everybody who can invent the knowledge, the chidushim from his own knowledge, it's okay. And after he said, now imagine a real tzaddik bringing a chidush. Imagine that, how powerful that chidush will be in order to bring Torah to another level. Because not only it will not damage the Torah, but because it possesses 5 levels of souls lighted and 5 levels of senses working, the chidushim will be amazing. But basic rules. Don't block the relationship between people and their Torah. It's their Torah. Like say the Torah, it's in their mouth. It's not only in your mouth. After said, Nimtza, it we finished. Nimtza, Gam chidushim הנולדים מן התורה, הם יהיו כתורת עצמה. So the chidushim, which are built from the Torah, they are the Torah itself. Shem מקבלים טומאה, they don't receive any impurity. Daika kaima lan, ayotze מן הטהור טהור, because now you have another secret, which come from something which comes from the purity is pure. Ayotze מן הטמא, טמא, philosophia. Ayotze מן הטהור טהור. Something which comes from the purity is pure. מה שאין כן הולך אחר, הפילוסופיה is testing. You see, he's not forgetting me. He's not forgetting them. He said, which is not the case for the people who are going after philosophia. The heretic, kafranit. The heretic philosophia. Kevan, she'i yotze מן הטומאה, because come from impurity. כל חידוש המוליד ממנה הוא גם כן חלק הטומאה. Every single chidush you will build from a tools of philosophy, it's also impure. Why? Because you are creating intellectual slaves. Meaning, you are not allowed to say anything. We are not interested. We have our system. We are the one who are allowed to talk, and the one who should just play the role as the society as defined for them, and don't go over the boundaries. God, everything comes out from the impurity is impure. Velo od, nothing else. Ela gam im yesh ba ta'aruvet midvarim tovim. אל תאמר, אלא מת דבר הטוב המעורב בה. He said, be careful. Even if inside of that explanation of philosophy, you have something which sounds good. He said, don't fall in that trap. Because even that good part became impure. אלא החק גם מדברים טובים שבא. He said, what? Take your distance. Run away from the good sparks that can be found out inside. כי כיוון שנתעברו ונתחברו עמה, נעשה כמוה. So because it was mixed with the impurity of philosophy, it's become also impure. והלומד אותם, and the one who will study them, מביא רע lenafsho. He said, what's happened to the one who study them? You bring ra to your nefesh. What does it mean? It's impossible that you will have the 5 level of nefesh being working, meaning some of your sense will be off. That's why you see the word is cruel. You see love in the word. You see respect. You see the Prime Minister of Israel. Even if all these pastors, they call themselves, we pray the God of Israel. What you find to say is to say, oh, let's take profit of their desire and just finish with them. This is the way you answer. This is not Torah. This is not wisdom. That's why we create our think tank, because we are very careful about the definition and the things that people are saying. There's another word of wisdom, another word of Torah, where these things exist in another perspective. And after said, ומביא רע לנפשו, וקר אומרים לדבורה, לא מעוקצך ולא מדבושך. He said, that was the mindset of Dvorah. Don't mix things at all. We conclude. ודוגמה לזה מצינו בהלכות איסור והיתר ביצה של תרנגול טרפה de Asura. He said, you want to know what this that analyze brought us in our daily life? This is the way we take the decision about the egg which come from a rooster who were taref. So that egg will also be forbidden. Because the rooster was taref, so the egg will be forbidden. Why? Ayotse minatame tame. Ve'afalgav de'eno trefa bebetza. So even if the egg himself is not taref, ve'i lichuda kai, ve'ai lichuda kai, al kol ze, מאחר שגדלה ביצה זו בתור מהי הטרפה. Even if it's two different structure, the rooster and the egg. It said, but since that egg grew up in the belly of something taref, meaning impure to the nutrition, taref. It said, Gam ina se trefa v'nesrav. Even the eggs is forbidden and became taref. והנה, מלבד המוסר שיהיה האדם למד מדין זה לעניין הפילוסופיה הכפרנית. He said, the purpose is for me to give to you the musar, said the Ben Ish Chai. You have to learn from that halacha the way you behave with the heretic philosophia. Why? Because it creates intellectual slavery. Because it will block the Bantu Israelite in their fight to acquire their freedom. Freedom about what? Being able to say who they are and the way they live their Torah. Why do you use Ashkenazi or Sephardi references to say if a Bantu Israelite is a real Jew? This is your fear of the Chidushim that brings you to seek for the same signs. No, Ben Ish Chai said, look, let the Chidush come from the Torah. If you don't understand, you have a problem. So if the Igbos, if the Congos, if the Cameroonian, they have another way to apply that halacha, what's wrong with you? Let the Chidush exist. We are not philosophers. We are Talmidei Chachamim. So see, we finished. He said, כפנית, עוד זה יהיה מוסר לאדם שהוא גדל עם רשעים גמורים ומתחבר עמהם. So this also have to be a teaching for a man who grew up with רשעים. You are a good man, but all your friends surrounding you, they are רשעים גמורים. שסופו להיות גם הוא רשע כמותם. So you have to be sure that at the end you will do like them. Take distance from what is not in the good nature. ולהפר ההולך עם החכמים, but the one who goes with the sages of Torah, ירחם, he will become a sage. ולכן שנה לנו התנאה בפרק זה, מה בין תלמידיו של אברהם אבינו עליו השלום לתלמידיו של בלעם הרשע וכו'. ללמדך המתחבר לצדיק והחכם כאברהם אבינו עליו השלום, גם הוא יזכה לטובה כמוהו, והמתחבר לאדם רשע כבלעם הרשע, גם הוא ירד לבור שחת כמוהו, וזה כלל גדול באיסור העבודה, והדברים נמשכים בהכרעה במסור השכל. So look, this is the final position of the Mishnah, Pirkei Avot, when we compare the student of Avraham and the student of Bilam. The key for us is to know and to understand that the battle we are going through the position of the chief rabbinate about the position that should be given, the freedom that should be given to the Bantu Israelite, is not a condition. It's a basic right to make chidushim, to bring something new in that Torah that people are tired. I'm telling you, let's say the truth. Why many people are becoming reformed? Why many people are going to do Torah that is lighter? Because they saw that the way the halachot are applied, the way the system is working, some people have favor, and the other they have just to follow. No place is made for the chidushim. You have to follow what was said. That's it. No. We have the Ben Ish Chai. He said, from what he received from his masters, that received from their masters, and so on, Torah doesn't receive Tuma. The intellectual slavery against the Bantu Israelite is that they never let us bring our deep understanding of that Torah. We have to be aware of that, about that, and to build the opposite. And this is the type of situation that can really change the inner aspect of the 3 weeks. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen ve'amen. Is there any question, Rabbi Tzadikim?
It's not a question, Chief Rabbi Pinchas. Just a short comment. The infiltration of philosophers' mindset into Torah world. I recall very well something about your limud you gave us back in those days in Yerushalayim on Hanukkah. So maybe it's just a reminder to Rabbanim and the platform that we have also to go to the Hanukkah, because Chief Rabbi Pinchas has gave us why there was a battle, why there was a fight. So that fight also is the same as in this generation, particularly the Bantu people. No one from that mindset will be comfortable with our presence and our Torah. Thank you very much, Chief Rabbi Pinchas.
Toda Rabba, Chief Rabbi Natan Hanan. Yes, you said it. We are ready. We never say or bring things in order to provoke. We just show that we know, and believe me, we know too much. But we never know too much. It's too much always for the one who wants the establishment to be kept in a certain order. But for the real people of daily life, the more you know, the more they are happy. So we have to be focused for them, and not to leave one single space to the one who think that we are doing too much. No, we are doing the minimum. Toda Rabba Rabba. Just to remind you also that we have the Sido Sambation, which are being printed for the first time of the history in Nigeria. They are available. You just have to contact Chief Rabbi Kish in Nigeria, and you can order from Ivory Coast, from Cameroon, from everywhere. So don't hesitate. I will send many messages in the next days after Tisha B'Av to let you know how to contact him. This will help us to continue our fight in total independence, and we will have many good things to tell you. Be'ezrat Hashem. Toda Rabba, Chief Rabbi Kish. Toda Rabba, Chief Rabbi Mordechai Yosef. Toda Rabba, Chief Rabbi Ishai Moshe. Toda Rabba Rabba, Chief Rabbi El Natan El Hanan. תודה רבה to everybody on Facebook, YouTube. תודה רבה, רבי יוחנן, רבי קטרין, רפוס פלו, שלום שלום. תודה רבה, רבי חיים יוסף. תודה רבה, רבי משה ויקטור סולומון. תודה רבה, רבי לונטיקמי from UK, שלום שלום. תודה רבה, מיכאל, תודה רבה לכולם. צום קל for the Tisha B'Av. Don't forget about the basic rules. It's like Yom Kippur. Wash hands still there. Don't perfume. Don't wash. We don't eat. We don't drink. And we don't wear shoes in leather. Be'ezrat Hashem. And after when you pass the midday, you can sit on normal chair. Before that, we try to sit close to the floor. And after midday, you can go and say hello to everybody. Just to add a last thing, we do put our tefillin in shacharit. We don't do like the others who keep the tefillin and the talit for mincha. We pray all shacharit with tefillin and tzitzit during Tisha B'Av. בעזרת השם. תודה רבה לכולם. שבוע טוב.
שבוע טוב, זום קל.
Zom Kal.
זום קל.